Hello, beautiful, wonderful, majestic souls of YouTube. My name is Dans. This is my channel, That Good Tarot, where we do timeless readings for anyone with any placements. If you've made your way to this reading, I believe there is a message in here for you. So let's get into it. I am getting this feeling like you need a soft energy to hold you right now. So I'm here to be that soft energy and just kind of hold you in this season and give you some messages, some guidance from the people who are looking over you, from the universe, your guides. Let's just see what they have to say. But I'm very much feeling like maybe there's a bit of I use the word spiral a lot, but I think there might be a few different voices that are kind of going on within you and around you that can be quite overwhelming. And I'm just getting the feeling like you need a little bit of a soft touch and a soft approach to this reading. So I'm here to give it to you. I hope that you're doing okay. Universe, please, insight and information. What does this collective need to hear on this day to help them move steadily and sustainably throughout their challenges, their obstacles? We have the Strength coming up here. The message with the Strength is you are strong. I wanted to say you're stronger than you know, but you know how strong you are, but you forget. You forget how strong you are. You forget how incredibly determined you are and your capacity to get things done and to work through things. And your resilience it's something that I feel like as I say these words, you're going to be like, oh, of course, I get things done. And of course I'm resilient and I've been through a lot. But it feels like at your low points, you forget these things about yourself. You forget how resilient you are. You forget how strong you are. And your guides are seeing you forget these things about yourself. And I think, it makes them sad because you have come so far. You have done so incredibly well. You have pulled yourself out of really dark situations, and you forget where you've been and what you've been through. And if you took the time to remember everything that you've been through, I feel like what I'm getting coming through is that when you hit a low point, it feels like the things that you have been through in the past, it almost feels like that happened to a different person. So you don't quite identify with the strength that you have historically had. It almost feels like it's not yours. It feels like it happened in another life. And sometimes it feels like you can't conjure up that inner strength, the inner will. There seems to be this issue with willpower right now that you are coming up against. We have the Devil at the bottom of the deck. It seems like you have this feeling where you're feeling chained down, like you're feeling chained to an idea. You're feeling chained to an identity. You're being chained to an environment, and it literally makes you feel physically heavy. But I think that there are a lot of parallels between not so much where your life is now and where it's been, but your perceived options. It feels like you have a lot of options and there are a lot of things that you can do, but you just don't see a way in which you personally can overcome and achieve. But you've moved mountains before. You are so much more capable than you ever really give yourself credit for. Let's see if we have some more cards to pull out. Universe, please. can we have some practical advice on what to do given the situation? A lot of self-care, and a lot of rest is what's really needed at this time. We have the Six of Swords, Judgment, and the Nine of Cups. This is just reassurance that everything really is going to be okay. Everything is going to be all right. It feels almost like you're repeating cycles, but even though it feels like the cycle is repeating, it's actually not the same cycle. Even though you might feel like, oh, here I am again. It's actually not the same place. Like, you have been continuing to move forward, so you're never really hitting the same challenges twice. It might honestly feel like that, but it's actually an entirely different situation. And if you look at the details of the situation, you realize that it's so, so different, and you have different options that you didn't have before because you're a different person than you were last time. You have more experience, more wisdom, more resources, more people behind you, more people on your team, more people who want to stand behind you and celebrate the things that you do. It feels like maybe you're so used to being alone that even though you have like a whole army of people that are really rallying behind you and ready to be there for you, you still are so used to being alone that you don't see the support that's there for you. You have the Eight of Swords, yeah. It seems like you're very, very, very bound in this inaction. I see a lot of procrastination. I see a lot of I think it's getting to the point where you literally see the things that you're supposed to be doing and you're just like, no, I don't want to do it. I really, really, really don't want to do it. Let's get some more information on this energy. It seems like the idea of rejection or the idea of being unloved is like, see, as I say that, like this big truck drives by and I got this energy of like, how dare you? Like, how dare you even think that you are unsupported and unloved? This idea of rejection is just so on the forefront of your mind, this abandonment wound that seems to keep coming up again and again and again. We have Temperance here. And it's going to keep coming up again and again and again. And this is probably why you feel the cycle repeating, because we're locking into that abandonment wound. And it's probably why I've been asked to come in with such a soft energy today. Even though the noise outside, it's about to hit. It's like 5 o'clock. It's getting close to that peak hour traffic time. And I am very close to a busy road. This abandonment wound keeps coming up, and every time you enter the cycle of having to face it, the fall, every time you reset and have to face it again, it gives you an opportunity to heal it more and more, and it's not the kind of thing that you heal once and then it's done. The abandonment wound that you have is absolutely not that. And once you start to lean into that, you will be able to see the opportunity to heal this abandonment wound as a gift. You will see every opportunity, not this terrible thing to run from, but this wonderful thing to lean in towards and go in towards. It's so important that you address this, because I think that it's really, really painful. Let's have a look more at this abandonment wound. There's been a couple of feelings that have been coming up outside of me sitting down and doing these readings. So obviously there's the abandonment wound one, but the one that keeps coming back is there's this, it almost feels like you've been telling a lie. You've been telling a lie about yourself since, I'm seeing since like 16 or 17 years old, you've been telling a lie. It could be to do with the abandonment wound. It could be to do with a different wound, to do with a different attachment style, maybe an avoidant. But there does seem to be this inner child that is hanging on for something, but has been so there's an inner child within you that has been abandoned by you. There has been, it was like something changed at around 16 or 17, and there's a part of you that still hasn't been kind of like collected back into the fold of your unified, authentic self. And there's something happening to you right now where you're really being invited to bring that version of yourself in, to bring that version of yourself to the front, because it feels like you haven't let this version of yourself really, okay, this is going to sound so weird. Okay, you're going to go on this journey with me. I don't know how you see it in your mind, but this is how I perceive it. So this is the only analogy or metaphor that I have for you. In my mind, in my psyche, there is this like desk, kind of like on a spaceship. There's this desk, like a captain's desk, where you run the ship, but the ship is me, right? And I have all these different versions of me that know how to run the ship. And I've learned over my time that it's my inner child that actually knows the guidance system. Like, she knows how to run it. And for a very, very long time, I stopped her from trying to press all the buttons because I thought she was going to make a mistake. Meanwhile, I didn't even know what the controls were, and I was doing it all wrong. And she was just trying to guide the ship the whole time. And when I finally let her, like, she just knew exactly what to do. She wasn't going to be a little baby smashing on buttons randomly. Like, she actually knew how to guide the ship. And over my time, I've gone through the other missing doors and hidden doors and locked lockers, finding all the different parts of myself that I've abandoned, and welcoming them back into the unified self, and giving them each an opportunity to run guidance on me and let them be at the front and use their wisdom and their confidence, their creativity, all these different things. I'm letting them go to the front because I don't know, the conscious part of me, part of myself that is constantly trying to keep myself safe, is actually just locking all these parts of myself away. I don't know if you resonate with that idea, but my point is, it feels like there is this 16, 17-year-old version of you that you used to, that when you were young, you let them be at the front, and something happened, and their wants, their needs, the way that they show up, the way that they, like, their excitement, their joy, they had such a, as I tap into it, there's like this really pure essence of them that exists. And something happened, and their wants and their needs and their desires had to be turned off and like locked up. And they've never come back out. Like, I don't think that part of you has ever returned. And I think that you can feel that now. I think that you're coming to a point in your world where you feel how fractured that part of yourself is from your current self. I think it's really stopping you from like feeling love, like feeling joy, feeling a level of like happiness. I don't think you felt that level of like pure joy to the point where you aren't like watching your, like micromanaging yourself entirely. Like since then, it really feels like part of you is so detached from kind of everything. This is deep. This is a big childhood wound that you've got going on here. And I feel like it's so weird that so many of these readings are getting so deep into some of these wounds. And it feels like for a lot of this collective, there seems to be a bit of an overhaul going on right now. And I know it's so different from the readings that are trendy and popular and all of that. And I want to be uplifting. And I hope that this message does bring you healing and joy. But I think that in order to achieve healing, you do need to like address the wounds. Like you do need to heal where it hurts. And that means looking at it. It means looking at the wound. It means giving the medicine that the wound calls for. It means like you can't just ignore it and hope that it just gets better on its own. No, you need to like address it. And I can't recommend enough just letting that version of yourself exist again. Bringing yourself back into a really unified place. I feel like that's the point. I feel like so many things are the point. Love is the point. Community is the point. Family is the point. Love is the point. So let's see if I even post this reading. It's really weird. I feel like part of my job right now is just to not even say that much more, but just to be present with you. So if what you need is someone to be present with you right now, then that's okay. Let's see what other cards, what oracle cards want to come up to the surface. Universe, please, last words, last messages. Rebirth, shedding the chrysalis, taking risks. It's time to leave the old behind. I know that might seem counterintuitive, like, oh, shouldn't I be leaving the 16-year-old version of myself behind? No. You left behind a version of you that was like already existing, and that's where an avoidant or an abandoned attachment wound exists. Maybe there was a part of you that you had to abandon because other people around you abandoned that version of you. And if you're ever wondering, like, well, why do I not feel loved? It's like you abandoned a part of yourself. You abandoned a part of yourself. Of course, part of you doesn't feel loved or embraced. And if you want to be able to have the capacity for love, you need to be able to give that love to yourself. You need to reconcile that. You need to have a conversation with yourself and figure out who you really are. Because that's that version of yourself that you abandoned. That's who you really are. That's who you really are. You aren't the version of yourself that abandoned you. That was something that you did to cope with your surroundings at the time. And haven't we all become inauthentic versions of ourselves to cope with our surroundings at the time. Time to leave that behind and move forward healed. This has been another weird reading, another weird long reading where I tap in to a heavier energy than usual. But I'm sending you all of the good energy. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading, and I'll see you on the next one.